Hey, how's it going? My name is Clancy, and if you don't know me, I'm an artist and producer, and we're gonna dive into how I made my brand new song, Sunday Home.
I think you may have forgotten how. I think I may have to show you what.
Sunday Home is my second single of the year. This is all part of my plan of releasing one single every month of this year, 2025. The first one was Electric. You can listen to it up here if you want to. I also made a couple videos doing alternative versions and all that stuff, but let's just dive into the song. So if I'm not mistaken, this song started out because I was writing a few songs with my girlfriend, Camila. And all of a sudden, as I'm like playing guitar and I'm just like making shit up on the spot, I come up with this like chord progression and I really liked it. And I just started singing a melody on top of it. I'm gonna show you the original voice memo that I recorded for this. So as you can see, most of the song is there. The song is really just a sequence of chords and a melody that follows it. And then you repeat that a couple more times. What's more interesting about that song, in my opinion, is the lyrics and maybe a little bit of the production, but I like that repetitiveness of the song. There's also some details that I didn't end up adding. I do this like little change that didn't make the final cut. And then we go back. That was too much. I really like that type of arrangement. I usually try to sneak in that chord into some of my songs, but I felt like for this one, that was not the vibe. When it came to actually make the idea happen, I wanted it to be like very simple. I was like, this sounds like a Beatles song, so let me just like play some acoustic guitar and bass guitar and actually play drums, because I don't usually play drums in my songs because I'm not the greatest drummer. But I was like, you know what, if I don't do it, I'm not gonna get better, so like might as well just at least practice that way. That's originally how I did it. I recorded this demo with that whole instrumental, and I even like added like strings or something like that. I'm just gonna play like a quick clip of that. This it's just this. That's it. Go back. And I really like that vibe, but honestly, it didn't sound like me, and I think I've been kind of like struggling with that as of late. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but Electric sounds completely different than Sunday Home, which sounds completely different than the next song that's gonna come out next month. So I'm kind of figuring out what I'm doing. So I don't like the end result of the demo so much, but I really want to put out the song under my name, not give it to anybody else. So I had to kind of adjust it just a little bit. So I thought, hey, maybe instead of acoustic guitars, you can record some electric guitars. You can keep the bass and you can keep the live drums. Although I'm just gonna tell you right now, this song was kind of a headache. And I know I shouldn't say this. I should be saying like, hey, this is the greatest song ever recorded. Go check it out. It's on Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere where you listen to music. And I do think it's a pretty good song, and I'm very proud of myself for that. And you should definitely check it out on Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere you listen to music. But the process of making it was kind of painful. Because see, once I made the demo, I was like, I'm fine. This is a pretty easy song. I got this. And I was very wrong. I don't know if you make music, you probably know how this feels like, but maybe you can like relate this to like some other aspect of your life. But sometimes you kind of think like, oh yeah, I got this. And then you try to do it, and it like, I wouldn't say it backfires, but it sounds like shit. Like you cannot make it work for some reason. So I started recording like these electric guitars. And the whole time I'm recording it, I'm like, it sounds like shit. Then I recorded the drums and I was like, this sounds like shit. Then I'm recording the bass line and I'm like, this actually sounds pretty good. I like the bass line, but everything else sounds like shit. But I just kept going. I kept pushing because that's what I'm supposed to do. So honestly, I think at this point, kind of like the process is kind of like blurry in my head. But from what I remember, even though I had this whole idea, I'm still trying to match it to like my style and how my style sounds. So I remember I was like looking for synth sounds like crazy. And I started coming up with certain stuff like this synth that was just like dancing underneath the track. Day, I think I did a good job, but I still had to add like a bunch of things to make it sound the way it was in my head. So then after I had the bass and the guitar, I originally recorded them on C, like on the C major scale, because that's how I wrote it. It sounds like this. So it'd be like rest in the fuck. So it'd be like rest in the morning when I'm gone. But instead I had to pitch it down a little bit so I wouldn't have to force my voice to sustain those higher parts. I pitched it down 1, 2 tones. So now it sounds like this. Rest in the morning when you're waking up. But I did it kind of like how Mac DeMarco does, where he just like records it on tape and then pitches it down, like when everything's recorded. I didn't do that exactly, but I just like pitched it down like the bass and the guitar in the computer. I added this like organ synth thing by the end of it. And I'm trying to remember what else. I think other than the vocals, we can talk about the solo. So what happened with the solo is that originally, I always intended it to be a trumpet. In my head, I'm like, I'm gonna get a trumpet player. Of course, why wouldn't I? Like, that's the plan, that's the idea. In the worst case scenario, and not even the worst case scenario, but like, I really wanted to do this. I thought about getting a trumpet, like renting one, and then trying to figure out how to play it. And I thought, yeah, that could be something cool to show you guys. But for some reason, probably just laziness, I didn't do it. But I had to improvise. I had to act quickly. So I started experimenting with certain stuff. I tried synths, I tried guitars. Nothing was working. The only thing that came to my mind, which was what I did in the original demo, was just to do my best trumpet sound with my mouth. Here's clips of me struggling to record this part. And in my head, I'm like, this is either gonna be like super quirky and stupid or super cool. It ended up sounding by itself stupid. So I was trying to find ways to fix it. Somehow I landed on, what if I actually do the solo on my acoustic guitar, and more specifically the classical guitar. So I played the solo. I added my favorite part, which is the I'll play it again. So I played that, and then I hear it by itself, and I'm like, that's not it either. Like, telling you that I almost lost my mind recording this song is an understatement. But surprise, I was like, why not mix both? Why not have the mouth trumpet and the classical guitar playing at the same time? And then I listened to it, slightly panned each one to the left and to the right. And I'm like, absolute cinema. But I still felt like something was missing. So I was like, I'm just gonna harmonize with the original trumpet. I'm just gonna do a little trumpet over it, doing an octave higher, and then just harmonize by the end of it. That's basically the solo. I just added a few effects so it sounded vintage and cool. And that's how we got the solo. So when it came to vocals, because here's the thing, I tried a couple different things. At first, I was like, let me sing whatever. Then I told myself, no, wait, you can't just sing whatever. You gotta record it in a very like Billie Eilish, like up here close ASMR type shit. And I did that. Then listening back to it, I was like, I cannot sustain like a single note, like straight. Not even with autotune. I can't do nothing about it. So then after so many attempts throughout a couple days, I finally got to do the takes that I liked. And it was just me singing regularly. Like at the end of the day, I didn't have to like experiment with this or that. I just had to be me. That's the moral of the story. Just do your own thing. I feel like with each step, this song got progressively harder. Because the vocals, you can see me in a bunch of these clips recording the vocals, how what's the word? Crashing out. In the sun side, cause it's now, Yana, por favor. Look! Oh, to when I'm better off. Okay, last part. Awake. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm about to lose it over here. So yeah, I got nothing to say, but thank you so much for watching. You can like the video if you actually liked it, and if you don't, please like it as well, so you can at least support me a little bit. You can also subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so if you could please help me out with that, that'd be very much appreciated. And of course, go listen to Sunday Home. I got 2 versions currently. The first one is the official version with all of the instruments and everything that I just explained to you right here. And the other one I got is an acoustic version that I released beforehand for the NPR Tiny Desk contest. If you know about the Tiny Desk, you know about all the artists who play there. It's not up to vote, it's not up to views, but like if you could check out that video, that would also be much appreciated. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Peace.
Don't